Hello, my name is Rachel and welcome to our channel, Dragon Light Bay. And today we're going to do some astrology. We're going to talk about the full moon, which is over here in the sign of Sagittarius. I've already marked it out. It is at 23 degrees, 24 minutes in the sign of Sagittarius, occurring on June 14th at 11:51 a.m. That is GMT time. So you'll need to work out what time it's going to be in your time zone. But it is in the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is all about big ideals. They are big thinkers and high-mindedness and reaching for that higher frequency and humor. Their phrase is actually "I see." So there is an implication of understanding, an attempt to understand other people and other people's perspectives. Sagittarius loves to hear other people's beliefs, and they're very curious. So reigniting our curiosity, maybe for some of us, reigniting our curiosity, our sense of adventure, our sense of fun, our sense of humor. So those are all the lovely qualities of Sagittarius. They are ruled by the planet Jupiter. Jupiter being, again, the big, expansive. It's the planet of expansion. And it's wonderful for the big picture. Now, fuzzy on the details. Okay, we'll put it that way. Fuzzy on the details. Great with the big picture, fuzzy on the details. So those qualities, you might feel those qualities within yourself. You might see other people expressing that. It depends on where Sagittarius is in your chart. We all have all signs somewhere in our chart. You may not have a planet, but you're definitely going to have Sagittarius somewhere within your chart. And that is where these qualities are going to be expressed. Okay, so high-mindedness, we said, warm, perceptive, independent, okay, independent and all about truth. So on a global scale, this is beautiful. So people are going to be demanding truth and seeing truth. So more people coming, awakening with this full moon. And that's a lovely thing. Okay, so let's get into the aspects here. We've got like four major aspects, and two of them within the 5-degree orb, which I've already circled here. So what that is, the 5-degree orb, it's going to be, those are considered very close aspects. So we've got between the moon here and the planet Saturn. So Saturn right now is in the sign of Aquarius. It's been in Aquarius for the last year or so. It's going to be in for a little bit longer. We're going to talk a little bit more about Saturn in a bit, but first we'll finish with the moon here. This is going to give us a sense of patience, of practicality, kind of seeing, okay, this is, feeling our way around something and going, okay, what's practical? What's the pragmatic thing to do here? Really being patient with, things, in our daily lives, particularly things having to do with the home. Now, being patient and practical isn't the best for these two signs. Okay, we've got Sagittarius over here is fiery, let's get it done, let's go for it, kind of feeling about Sagittarius. And then Aquarius is all about, let's progress, let's move forward, and let's have change. So Saturn really kind of putting a little bit of a damper on us, but the positive thing is here is that it's going to give us a more centered, calm look at things, okay? And so that actually is a positive. And it's also positive because it's going to balance out this aspect, which is a square we've got between the moon and Neptune, the planet Neptune. So the planet Neptune is over here in the sign of Pisces, Pisces. And this can give us a feeling of confusion in the home, confusion, escapism. So maybe overindulgence in, food, alcohol, drugs, sex. There's going to be this kind of desire to maybe overindulge or escape a bit, which is quite understandable because there's a lot going on in the world that makes us feel like we want to escape, from time to time. But of course, it can be a negative as well, but this Saturn aspect really keeping us grounded a bit. Okay. So that will help us and, make it so that we can reach for the higher frequency of this aspect, which is really rolling with the punches, have it being a little bit more easygoing. This softens us a bit, allows us to get into a place of, okay, this is going to be all right, so giving us more of that sense of calm and acceptance. And also it can be a really great time to express our psychic abilities, our intuitive abilities, third eye stuff, mediumistic even, for some of us. But you need to keep in mind to really ground and protect yourself. So if you want to go on a vision quest, which sounds like really Sagittarius, yes, let's go on a vision quest. You just make sure that you are totally in a safe environment, and that you do all the protective things, you're with your crystals or your sage or, whatever resonates for you, but just make sure you've got that protection going there, because Neptune can take us a little bit off course. So definitely want to have some grounding there. Okay, then we've got some trines happening. And the trines here are both in the sign of Aries. We've got the moon trining Chiron. We'll start with that. These are within 10-degree orb. They're not as close as the other two aspects we just talked about. So Chiron is in the sign of Aries at 15 degrees. The moon, Sagittarius, 23 degrees. So you can see there is a bit of a gap there, but they are still within the 10-degree orb. Now, what this is going to bring up, it's a trine, so it's a nice, friendly aspect. It's a positive aspect. It is going to bring up mothering, fathering issues to the surface. So anything that might be a little bit down below the surface at this point, on the back burner, or down in our unconscious, those are going to come forward, and they're coming forward in order for us to heal. Okay, so it is a positive. It is maybe father issues or mother issues coming up in order to be healed. So something being triggered in some way. And when I say triggered in this case, it is triggered in a positive way. Maybe a memory trigger. Maybe you're seeing somebody that you knew in your childhood. So it's going to bring up those memories, right? And also, this could be our own mothering and fathering qualities, So as a parent, those issues that we struggle with, those coming to a little bit of the spotlight during this full moon. And so maybe feeling that as well. But again, this is coming up to be healed. And, being maybe a little bit more sensitive in these areas, sensitive with ourselves, expressing more compassion and empathy for ourselves and for others. Okay, so that's a lovely positive there, and healing aspect that we've got going. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about we've got a trine still over here, trine between the moon and Mars. Okay, so what does that mean? I thought, wow, this is really a positive aspect. Again, it's within the 10-degree orb. In this case, the moon is actually the leader. So because the moon is at 23 degrees, Mars is at 15. That was the case with Chiron as well. I don't think I mentioned, but yes, so the moon is then the leader in both these aspects, and both of them trines. So again, friendly, positive aspect. And there's an integration of energies here because we've got Aries and Sagittarius, both fire signs. So that fire element, finding simpatico. And so in this case with the Mars, there is an abundance of psychic energy. Okay, so we're having an abundance of psychic energy. So you can see where this Saturn aspect is going to be coming in handy. So to keep us grounded, okay? There's also so you might really be excited about some new divination tool that you might some new tarot cards or whatever you might get, something along those lines. And there's also this energy for fighting, wanting to fight for what we believe. So fighting for what we believe. So we might see some fresh protests coming up. We might see some of those. Maybe you'll feel like you want to join a protest, or just express yourself in some way, expressing what you feel is just and right in the world. So that is kind of a really positive aspect as well. And then we're just going to talk a little bit about some other aspects that are coming in, that are here. We've got some stuff going on with Venus. So Venus is right here down in Taurus. It's at 19 degrees, 52 minutes. And it is square the Saturn here. Okay, so what does that mean? That is giving us a little bit of a feeling of perhaps melancholy, feeling some disappointment in love, feeling restricted or repressed in some way when it comes to our romantic aspirations. So it's not the happiest aspect, but I will say that it is leaving on June 24th. So it's not in for a great deal of time. So that's a positive, right? But it also, on the positive side here, what you can reach for in order to gain that higher frequency of this aspect, because the potential here is to learn something. Because whenever Saturn is involved, it's about learning something. It's about a lesson. And that can be, in the long run, a very positive thing. It doesn't always feel that way when it's happening. But in the long run, it is a positive because it's something that we learn and hopefully can move on and progress from. So in this case, situations that can occur in love, romance, particularly for those singles out there who are dancing the dance of getting together with somebody. It can feel quite harsh, and it can feel like, oh, this is not happening. This is not, what is going on here, but what it is a good time for is to really look at what is acceptable to you in a relationship. What is it that you're actually looking for in another person? Are you just wanting to be just with anybody, just so you can be with somebody? Because if that's the case, then you're probably going to hit some brick wall. But if you are really looking to grow and progress and have a very high, that higher love, that we all really want, then this is a great time to sit down and really determine that. What is it that you want in general terms, not like, oh, he has to be 6'5" and, brown hair, not those type of things, but really genuine qualities that you are looking for in another human being, and what is going to really gel with you and make you happy, because we all deserve that. So this is a great time to do that, and be practical as far as what our romance is. And also, it's a great time to be practical and grounded with some artistic projects maybe that we've had in mind. So for those of you who are of, a creative and artistic, this is a great time to ground those projects and get them done. So another positive there. We also have the Venus is also trining Pluto over here. So the trine, of course, being a positive aspect, and but it's between Venus and Pluto, so very intense, very powerful, where we might experience some very powerful love at first sight, very powerful sexual feelings, that kind of coming up. Again, this aspect is leaving June 24th. So it's brief, but for some of us, we might actually draw that in. So you may have some relationships presented to you that are very intense, and very strong sexual connections or feelings. And also potentially karmic relationships. So that also may come up again through to the 24th. And lastly, I'm going to mention this Mars conjunct, oops, where is it? It's up here. Mars conjunct Chiron. So Chiron and Mars together there in the sign of Aries. They're very closely conjunct right now, both at 15 degrees. So they're off by minutes. Chiron is 15:54 minutes. And Mars is 15 degrees 8 minutes. So you can see how very close these two are right now. And they're going to be close until about June 30, or they're not going to be necessarily close, but they're going to be within 10-degree orb of each other until the 30th of June. And what this brings up is the wounding of anger, the wounding of the divine masculine, the wounding of unconscious aggression, and confrontation. And so these wounds are going to surface. And if they are surfacing in your life, if you're feeling those things, or you're dealing with that, this is surfacing for healing. Okay, so that's what Chiron's all about. It's the wound, it's where we are wounded, and that wound points us in the direction of where we need the healing. So, and ultimately, it is a positive. So that's it for now. I probably went too long on this video. So hopefully it resonates, and these little tidbits will assist you through these aspects and through this full moon. So these energies. So my name again is Rachel. Our channel is Dragonlight Bay. Thank you so much. Take care.